To say this year has been a hell of a year is an understatement. Hi, it's Tina with Travels by Tina, and I thought I would share with everybody everything that's been going on for the past year in my life. And I tell you, there's been a lot. So let's just say it, to start off with, it started in last December of 2024. I had to come down to Newfoundland from Ontario. My dad was having surgery to have his bladder removed. He found out last summer he had bladder cancer. So he had a major surgery a week before Christmas, and I was there right after his surgery, and everything went very well. They said that they got all of the cancer out, and he was doing so well they actually let him out almost a week early. He got out of the hospital. So we got home on Christmas Eve. So that was amazing. He was feeling amazing. Of course, he was still recuperating, but he was doing awesome compared to what he had been for the past 2 years. He suffered like a dog before he was diagnosed. So that was fine. And then we were at home after that, and within a couple of weeks, I started to feel like, I'm really enjoying it down here. Like, I wonder if this is something I could enjoy if I lived here. So I took my time, and, I ultimately decided I was going to move to Newfoundland. So I didn't want to move in the winter time because, it's cold and everything. So I was going to just keep flying back and forth from Ontario to Newfoundland up until the summer when it was time to move. Now, I did have a couple of trips. Of course, I had my Boots on the Water cruise in February of 2025, and I got to tell you, it was a dream come true for me. It was the dream of a cruise of a lifetime. Absolutely loved it. I've been keeping my eye open, I would probably say 25 or 30 years for something like this to come along, a country music cruise, but my kind of country music. I love 90s country. I didn't want like hillbilly, stuff, or usually what senior citizens would like. That's not what I was into. So I came across this one by accident on Facebook, Boots on the Water, and I just knew that I could not let this opportunity pass me by. So I did that in February. My dad was feeling great, and Mom told me, don't cancel it. You go on your cruise. So I did that, and I had the time of my life. Loved it so much, I even booked my next one before I even got off the ship. So I'm going again this February, 2026. So after that, I came back home to Newfoundland and went back again because I had a cruise in April. I was on the Celebrity Beyond, and it was the most beautiful cruise ship I had ever been on. It was stunning. Absolutely loved it. Highly recommend it to everybody. And then after that, I went home from that, and I was in Ontario, and that was when I listed my house for sale. And it sold actually within 4 days. It was sold. So then I packed up as much as I could and flew back to Newfoundland. And then I came home to discover that my dad was not feeling well. Now, Mom and Dad had just returned from 3 weeks in Ontario themselves. They went to go see the grandkids and great-grandkids. And the whole time they were there, Dad just was not himself. He had no energy whatsoever, and he was like in really rough shape. So he thought he had the flu. So we're all home, and he's still like it for a couple of weeks. I finally convinced him to let me take him to the hospital. So took him to the hospital, and we discovered he was actually having a heart attack, and he'd been having this heart attack for weeks. It was like a slow heart attack, and it was going on for weeks. So he was actually lucky to be alive. We discovered that he had 9 blockages in 4 separate arteries, and one of them was the main one, which is called the Widowmaker. That one had 2 blockages. One was 70% and one was 20%. So having said that, I had realized that Dad was actually lucky that he survived the first surgery in December, because that was a very major surgery. And we didn't know at the time that he had heart issues at all. He had any blockages. So he was lucky he survived that. So we spent the next 4 weeks in hospitals, and my mom and I drove to St. John's. My dad went there in ambulance. So my mom and I drove to St. John's. That's a 4-hour drive. So we stayed for 3 weeks. We stayed in a hotel while Dad was in the hospital, and it took him, they had actually canceled his surgery the first time. He was literally being wheeled into the OR when they told him he was being canceled. So somebody else came in by emergency who was way worse than Dad. So he had to wait another week. So finally, after 4 weeks, he had his quadruple bypass, and he did amazing. The surgeon said absolutely everything went perfect. There was no issues whatsoever, and Dad woke up and didn't feel any pain or nothing. He did amazing. I still can't believe the strength in that man, because I don't think I would be able to handle it like he's been handling it. But in the meantime, we were so happy. 5 days after the surgery, they let him out. So another 4-hour drive home. And he's been doing amazing ever since. Now, as far as my house in Ontario, thank God, my sister and brother-in-law, they have been such a huge help with moving my furniture out of the house before the closing date. And because I've been down here with Mom and Dad. So they actually live a 4-hour drive away from where I lived. And I don't even know how many times, probably 3 or 4 times, drove to my house and loaded all my furniture and boxes and everything onto their trailer and took it all to their place in Kinmount. And it's now, everything is sitting in, I've got 3 8x20 storage bins that I'm paying for. So all of my belongings are still in Ontario, and he's been trying to get it down here, drive it down here. The problem is there's no availability on the ferry from Sydney, Nova Scotia to Port aux Basques, Newfoundland. So I don't know when it's all going to get here. It could be there for a year. I don't know. But it's, at least it's safe and sound in the storage units. So I'm down here now with very few belongings. I don't even have very much clothes, so needless to say, I have to do some shopping. But I'm staying with my parents, and the house that I had intended on buying down here, turns out I'm not buying it. I walked away from that deal, and I won't get into any details, but all I can say is it just wasn't meant to be. So I will wait until I find the perfect house for me. I'm not in a hurry. I have a roof over my head, and I'm really, really loving it down here, and my dad is doing amazing. Now, I will tell you, I've been just itching to go on a cruise again, like over the summer, but I decided not to do it because, you know, if anything turns around for Dad, or if I end up finding a house quicker than I thought, anything like that. I'm not doing any trips this summer. But I do have my Girls Gone Solo cruise in November. I'm really, really excited for that, to get on a cruise ship with the girls. And I actually, in the last few days, I have been busy booking trips for next year, 2026. So like I said, I do have my I do have my Boots on the Water cruise in February. But I just recently booked myself on the Norwegian Epic in April. I got to fly into San Juan, and then I'm going on to the Eastern Caribbean. And then I just recently booked another one I booked it for July, but then a couple days later I changed my mind and I rescheduled it for September. I figured July over in Europe is going to be way, way too hot. And from what I hear, it's not uncommon to die in heat because nobody has air conditioning over there. So I decided I was going to reschedule that for September. So again, I will be on the Norwegian Epic over in Europe and the Mediterranean. So I'm so, so excited for that one. I've never been across the pond before. And that is, where am I going? I'm flying into Barcelona, Spain, and I'm going to Italy and France and Rome. And then I'm flying out of Rome to get back home. So I'm really, really, really excited about that one. And so far, that's all I've got. But I will tell you, everybody knows I've been a hardcore celebrity fan. Love celebrity. Their ships are absolutely stunning. But Ever since I've been on the Norwegian Gem for the first Boots on the Water cruise, I started looking into it because everybody knows Norwegian is the best for solo travelers. So I started looking into it, and oh my God, the money that I'm saving by going with Norwegian and staying in a solo stateroom. Now, it's you got to stay in a solo stateroom to get the discounts. But I got to tell you, I'm probably saving well over $1,000 by not sailing with Celebrity and sailing with Norwegian instead. So I think Norwegian is going to be my new favorite cruise line. Not because it's any better or anything, but because when you're traveling solo like I am, you got to save every little bit that you can. And it's so expensive traditionally on other cruise lines. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. You got to pay for two people, even though there's only one person going. So, anything I can do to save some money, that's what I'm going to do. So I'll probably be sailing a lot with Norwegian from now on, at least while I go solo. And I will then, the money that I'm saving could get me on an extra cruise or something that year. Isn't that what it's all about? So anyway, like I said, there's been a lot going on this year between deciding to move down here and the stress of, selling my house and finding a house here, not being able to get my furniture and belongings down here. Everything's still in Ontario. And then with my dad having 2 very serious surgeries in 6 months, that's a lot for one body to handle. But he's handled it like a pro. I tell you, I don't know where he gets his strength from, but he's a fighter, that's for sure. And then, just all these cruises that I have booked, I'm having the time of my life. And I will tell you, I have been this past year so far, we know the year's not over with yet, but so far, this past year has been unbelievable. I ran into who was my best friend back in the late 80s when I lived here with my first husband. Ran into her and we just clicked. We hit it off like we'd never been apart. And she's also widowed like I am, so we're inseparable now. We do everything together. She's also my parents' landlord. And it's funny how everything works out. But all I know is I'm having the time of my life. I absolutely love it down here. And when the timing is right, I know I will find a house. I'm in no hurry. And I'm just here for my parents. There's nothing I wouldn't do for my parents. And my sole priority right now is to have my parents be comfortable and happy and healthy. That's all I care about right now. And they keep telling me, just keep living your life. Your father's fine. He's doing amazing right now, so just keep traveling and do whatever you want. You don't have to stop your life for us. But I tell you, there is nowhere that I would rather be than in Newfoundland, home, my new home. Right now, and I don't think I'm ever going to leave here again. I've even got my license switched over to a Newfoundland license. I got my MCP card. I'm officially a Newfie now. That MCP is a health card for Newfoundland. It's like OHIP. And even my car has officially become a Newfie. I got a license plate, a Newfoundland license plate, which I think is so exciting. And it's just, everything is falling into place. The only thing is now just to find a house to buy, and it'll happen when it's meant to happen. That's all I know. So I'm so excited, and I don't think you'll ever see me leave here. It's, I think everything happens for a reason, and this is where I am meant to be. I'm here for my parents, but I'm also here for myself because I am having the time of my life. So I just wanted to keep everybody updated, and that is what is happening. And and that is it. So I am off right now because my car hasn't been so lucky at all. I've already had to repair a massive dent in my hood. Driving down the highway, there was a 18-wheeler going in one direction. I was going the other. And what do you call those, like a ratchet strap or something? It came flying off of his truck, and the metal part of it hit my hood just as I was driving past him. It's like, how lucky can I be? So I just got that fixed, and now the other day I had a massive rock hit my windshield, and it hit so hard it scared the living crap right out of me. It was loud, and now I've got this big crack going up my windshield, so I'm actually on my way to Gander right now to get it replaced. So that's like 2 things on my car in like 3 months. So hopefully the luck will turn around for my car too, because whatever happens, I'm not leaving here. I am happy, and I am excited, and I'm having the time of my life. So anyway, I just wanted to keep everybody updated that everything is going amazing. Everything is worked out well for me moving down here. I don't know what I would have done without my sister and brother-in-law. They are the best. They're the ultimate best. And then my car, hopefully I'll get some better luck. But I'm having the time of my life, and I would not change my life right now for anything. And if there's nowhere I would rather be right now than here with my parents, because they need me. And I'm just so thankful that Dad is doing amazing. He's going to bingo again and everything. So, and he's even driving again. He couldn't drive for 6 weeks, but he's driving again now. So I feel blessed. I truly feel blessed. And I just wanted to keep everybody updated and keep watching for my videos. You will be seeing, again, I got my Girls Gone Solo cruise in November. So you'll be getting to see a lot of videos from that once I get home. Okay, thank you for listening. And don't forget to hit the like button and the bell notification, and to subscribe to my channel and comment down below. Have you ever been to Newfoundland, and what did you think of it? I would really be excited to hear if you guys have any stories to tell me. Okay, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.